40 acres on campus grounds. We gather round, discussing goals and dreams and life's adventures. The Texas Longhorns, they're the talk of the town. High castles of the 40 acres, where we dive deep into the game day stories. From touchdowns to heartbreakers, we discuss it all. Texas Longhorns glory. Here we gather round each Thursday night, talking sports, it's so alright. From football to basketball, baseball to softball, Tim Wayne and Irish, we cover it all. Sports talk is our passion, our delight. Thursday night at 8:30, we unite. We discuss the scores, the plays, the teams you might. Let's dive into the game, let's ignite.
12 conference champions.
There will be one day where we change that. I don't know what day that is, but there will be one day for sure. What's up, everyone? It is the Texas Longhorn Fan Battle. Of course, my name is Harish. This is my guy, Tim Wayne. Tim Wayne, what it do? On mute. How's it going?
What's happening, guys? What's happening? I'm reeling after a loss to Southern Miss that decided to run a mid blitz more than 10 times in a video game. So not necessarily happy about that.
Gotta get the ball out, man. Gotta get the ball out.
Hey, listen, I don't listen for y'all that are playing college football. I hope you are enjoying it. If you run mid blitz, you have zero skill. I don't care what or who you are. If you have to run a mid blitz to get any type of stop, and you're not playing a solo challenge in college ultimate team, like you have zero skill. I've played a handful of games, and majority of the people are still running mid blitz, and is absolutely terrible. I want to go on a limb and say we need to remove it from the game.
I will. You and I played recently in our dynasty, and we played a great game. By the way, that was a good game.
Yeah, fantastic.
I couldn't tell you how to run mid blitz even if I wanted to. So that just shows you how much I do not know how to play the game. Not just play the game, just what happens, right? I'm now in year 8 or 7 of my Oklahoma State rebuilding. Still cannot get past the second round of the playoffs. But I do have a 5-star freshman. I think I'm finally going to do it. So, but anyway, we've got a lot about. Speaking of building dynasties, we are in the midst, hopefully, building our own dynasty here on the 40 acres.
Please, please, college football. Please.
All we need is some help from the gods, some good graces. The roster is set. Steve Sarkisian had his presser on Tuesday. It was fireworks as expected. Rich Manning era has officially begun.
Yes, sir.
So we are going to get into all of that. Before we do that, though, let's sing praises to our sponsors, or you know what? FanBattlesports.com. FanBattlesports.com, where you can get the latest and greatest from the AFC South, including the Colts, including the Texans, including the Jaguars, including the Titans, all 4 of those teams, and of course, find the latest episodes, find the latest content from there. FanBattlesports.com team. We are so close to football. I can smell it.
Oh, yeah.
Training camp reports next week.
We're 2 weeks away from the Hall of Fame.
We are 5 days away from reporting. Players reporting, 2 weeks away from the Hall of Fame game. Who's in the Hall of Fame game this year? Isn't it the Browns?
I want to say the Chargers. I forget. Chargers, Ravens.
Let me get my sources. The 4-letter app.
Good old Google.
Good old 4-letter app. All right. Hall of Fame game is actually 2 weeks from today. We will be on the show during the Hall of Fame game.
Yes, sir.
Actually, no, we won't. I will not be here. I will be in a different country.
You will
Chargers
be
Lions
on vacations.
I will be on vacation. Chargers Lions 7 p.m. I guess I'll be watching one snap from the pool. Cannot wait.
And take with you.
Yeah. By the way, you told me this. Mike Williams retired today, which is really terrible.
Yeah, man. I was a big fan of Mike Williams. You know, he's ex Clemson Tiger. you just I asked you this question because earlier because I just don't necessarily understand it, and this has nothing to do with college, but a lot of these stud college wide receivers do go to San Diego, and something just happens to them where they are just not healthy. You could say the same thing with Keelan Allen. Keelan Allen was a stud in college. Mike Williams, a stud in college. Both of these guys were on the same team at one time. At one point in time, they had the tallest receiving core, and they can't stay healthy in San Diego. It's interesting that when they leave San Diego, they become. Ken Allen was the only bright spot at one point in time in Chicago, in last year, and I do remember him. I do remember him nursing a injury that he had prior to coming to Chicago,
Yeah,
but for the most part, he didn't really miss a lot of games. He was active. But is this something with San Diego? I don't necessarily know. It don't matter who you are as a wide receiver. If you are they've had even some of the fastest guys in the league in San Diego, and they just can't seem to stay healthy. I don't understand it. It goes back like this even precedes like wide receivers.
yeah,
Drew Brees' career was almost over. He leaves. He goes to the New Orleans Saints, wins the Super Bowl a couple years
yeah.
later. So it's like I don't understand like what the deal is. They've had issues at keeping healthy running backs. The sword, Derwin James, is a superstar there, can't stay healthy. Don't know what that's it. Something's got to change within the facility because there's no reason why Mike Williams should be retiring. He's 29, 30 years old.
Well, as a Colts fan, we have a bad medical staff, and they haven't been fired. They should have been fired 15 years ago, and we still have it. So NFL owners don't fire owners in general don't fire medical staffs very like often. So I wouldn't expect any change there.
Yeah.
If I can tell you from experience that the Colts medical staff should have been fired 15 years ago.
I
And
was somebody made a very good comment. Um, this if you think about it, within the next couple years, there's going to be a very large gap where there's no NFL quarterbacks that are going to be taken in the Hall of Fame because they've all been have all either made it or they've retired early. Somebody also made a comment that said
oh,
RG3, Andrew Luck, Cam Newton are supposed to be the three that are supposed to be in their they're like their twilight years. Like they're supposed to be the ones along with Aaron Rodgers are supposed to be like those guys that are supposed to be playing their final games in the NFL, and they didn't need it because of
yeah,
um, injury coaching, and
terrible GMs,
yeah, yeah.
all
So
the above.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. We think about if you think about it, really,
crazy.
this is Andrew Luck should have been in his years where we're like, oh man, he finna leave. Like, can he get one more on the way out? Can he get another one? Like, and
That
it's
was
not
10
happening.
years ago, man. That was almost 10 years.
Yeah,
2016, I think.
we were together when he walked off the field and retired. Do you remember that? We were at third base off 183
Are we?
preseason. Yes, it was a preseason game. It was a preseason. It was a
I try to forget that night. So, no, I don't remember. I try to forget that night.
yeah.
But anyway, all that just to say, fanbattlesports.com. If you're interested in starting your own show, uh, fill out the contact us. Click on the contact us button, fill out all the information, and yeah, we'll help you start your own show. Fanbattlesports.com. All right, Tim.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to start with SEC Media Days. I was going to start with recruiting, but I think that's something we'll say because it's bigger to me, in my opinion.
Yep.
Start about SEC Media Days.
Yes, sir.
I want to, and I know you haven't. I don't know if you had an overall chance to see like beyond Texas, right? Well, we'll do Texas here, but did you from what you have seen a big takeaway? Did you have a big takeaway or like a high level of like what you thought about everything you saw,
I think
everything you even got to see?
from what I've gotten to see, and like I said, well, prior to that, I didn't get to see everything. Of course, I was at work, unfortunately, so I got to catch a lot of the stuff that happened after the fact. Right. One of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of people have their own takes on NIL, and and
Yeah.
and it's been very interesting, and I think a lot of opinions have been formed, especially because of what's happened in recruiting. Because I'm gonna just put it out there, I haven't heard of anybody else getting into top recruits this week while they're at SEC media days, or while they were at Big 12 media days, or while they were at AC. Like, I just have not heard of it. If for the guys that are listening and watching, if you have, please let me know. But I personally have not heard or seen anything in regards to that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Texas fan. I'm not trying to trash anybody. I literally have not seen anybody make national news for taking two top defensive players out of the state of Georgia or out of any other state while they were at the media days. And mind you, coaches can't talk to recruits right. They cannot talk to recruits.
Is it a dead period right now?
Dead period. They cannot talk to recruits right now. Even Sark
Is it?
at the beginning of the season, at the beginning, he mentioned it's a dead period. Like,
Oh, okay, okay.
you
Oh, that
can't.
makes sense because like guys are getting ready for camp and like season's
Yeah,
about to
it starts in
start.
2 weeks.
Yeah. That's right. Oh no, that's fair enough.
So,
Okay.
it's just, I think that with the way things have gone within this last couple of days, or with specifically that day, right? Um, I just the a lot of opinions have come out about NIL. A lot of talk has happened about NIL. Dion started out with it. You know, he started it. He started it Monday, and it was hot. He came in hot. You know, and
Who's this?
Deion Sanders.
Oh, he wasn't SEC. He's not in the SEC, but yeah, that was last week.
But I'm saying it's the majority of the talk throughout these media days has
Yeah,
just been about NIL. And
yeah.
um, I I think a lot of people need to kind of cool their jets. A lot of these guys and a lot of these kids have made their reasons, or they've disclosed their reasons on why they decided to pick Texas. And you're not reading leaves, you're just a headline, and you're forming your own opinion because it's easy to form that opinion. It's easy to say, oh well, yeah, of course Texas is going to get these guys because they got the money to do it. Well, if you go and read the interviews and you watch the Pat McAfee show, I watched that and I went and watched that Taylor Atkins interview. It was very telling on why he chose Texas over Georgia.
Yeah, it's not live. Yeah.
It's very telling. So let's kind of pump the brakes on, like, oh well, Texas is going to buy all the players. This is what y'all wanted. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is what majority of the people wanted. Oh, these guys are making, these colleges are making millions of dollars, and these guys aren't able to sell autographs, or they're not able to sign autographs and make money. We should pay. These guys should get paid. Well, you
Here we
asked,
are.
and here we are. And now, because your school is not benefiting from it, or your school doesn't have the pool, or your school doesn't have the funds to get these type of players that you're wanting, it's a problem. And we told you this. We told you
We
this.
said it like 3 years ago.
We said this three
We
years ago
started this
before
show.
COVID. We told you this. We said, hey, if you play this game, you're going to get burned. There are 3 teams out there that are going to get you no matter what. Texas, Texas A&M, and SMU. SMU is right there. They are right.
They haven't even hit the bottom. Now there is one school that kind of came out of nowhere, right? Texas
Oh,
Tech.
Texas Tech.
I didn't expect Texas Tech to have the funds to do what they did, but they had the billionaire, like
They got the
former
billionaire donor. They got
yeah
the billionaire
former
donor.
Tech alumni guy who turned a billionaire, sold his oil money, and now he's buying Texas Tech fame.
Bro,
Right?
those are
So,
dope. He's basically paying his tax.
um, here's what I'll say about NIL. For all the things that Texas has won in NIL this week in recruiting this week, they've lost like 8 times more. Like
Yeah.
until this week, Texas has only hit on one of like the 7 or 8 targets that they hit between them
Exactly.
in the last 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say 2 things about NIL. Number 1, yes, we can argue all day long NIL is not fair. It's not this, it's not that. At the end of the day, the one thing that you need to keep in mind about with NIL is the game is never over, right?
No.
Just because JJ flipped to Texas today, right? It does not mean he's going to. It doesn't matter until December, and this is why, like, when guys get, when like A&M fans get really, really excited about being top 5 today, I tell you right now, by the time it's all said and done, probably won't be in the top. They probably won't be in the yet alone the top.
Yeah.
Right? This is a long waiting game, right? And Texas just got a huge bump in recruiting rankings because Diabell. Shout out to Diabell. That
Mhm.
guy. There is a term out there that I don't put out often, and I may put that out for that guy.
Diabell?
Yeah, that guy's really freaking good. Really freaking good. Like, there's number one. Like Arch Manning was good when he came out of high school. Like Diabell, like Arch Manning at this point, and like if you compare the two, like at this point of their high
You
school
feel
career,
Diabell's better?
oh yeah, oh, the throws that kid can make, right? Like and I put out a tweet and a TikTok like a month or so. And again, I know there's certain guys that won't be like excited about what I put out, but I said, hey, the future at quarterback is really, really bright. And it was like a
Oh,
four. It
yeah.
was
Yeah.
like Arch Manning, then it was KJ Lacey, then it was Diabell, and then it was somebody else. And I left Trey Owens off of that list.
Right.
I didn't leave Trey Owens off the list because I didn't think he was good enough. I left Trey Owens off the list because I think all these guys are just they're really that good, and
Mhm.
Trey it would be doing Owens a disservice for him to stay at Texas. Me thinking, knowing he's probably not going to have an opportunity to play, not because he's not good enough,
Right.
because these guys are just that. Like we legitimately could go from Arch Manning for 2 years because we will get 2 years of Arch, right?
Right.
By the time we get to 2027, that might that's going to be a QB battle between KJ Lacey and Diabell, and Diabell might win that battle.
It's very
I
like
think Diabell is that good. Like I think he is, dude. That guy's really freaking good.
the so, and you know how I've been crucial about I've been crucial about Quinn and how he throws the ball and ball placement, velocity, and things like that. I've not seen, and again, I know what type of culture we're in. They're going to only post the good throws. They're only going to great catches. They're only going to post the one-handed catches. They're not going to post the drops. But majority of the stuff, even the film that he has on your rivals' platforms, your 247s and things of that nature, that motherfucker can throw the rock.
I'm telling you, man, Dia, right? That dude.
Yeah,
Like go look at the Rivals tape, the Rivals camp that he just won, the Elite 11 camp. He just won. He just
dude,
won the Elite 11 camp. Not even close. He didn't. He was won in the Elite 11 camp the entire week,
yeah,
right? Like, and there's some really good quarterbacks in that class.
yeah, absolutely.
And so no, it's not surprising that he rose all the way up to number 1. Now that the Rivals and On3 rankings are the same, like I'm not surprised that he's a 5-star now. We said he was going to be a 5-star.
Yeah,
We said it like 3 months ago. This dude's going to be a 5-star. He might be ranked the number 1 and number 2 player in the country, right? Texas now has like 3 number 1 quarterbacks on their roster. And they had, and you know, well, obviously Dia's not on campus yet,
right.
but and then also they just, by the way, whether you like it or not, or whatever happened with Quinn Ewers, right? He's an NFL quarterback now, and he was also a 5-star number 1 ranked quarterback in his class, right?
Yeah.
So listen, we're not gonna for recruiting. And really, we only won 2 recruiting battles, but it's felt like we've won 15 this week because of all the the crying from all the other fan bases.
But the thing of it is that it's the number. And we know that we've had 5-star recruits come through, and we've had them, especially on the defensive side, and not live up to the expectation. I would say I don't want to get in that because that's going off on a tangent, but there have been some defensive players that have come through the state of Texas at 5 stars, and they did okay. They were okay
Didn't pan
players.
out. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't. They weren't the greatest, and right now they're kind of like journeymen in the NFL. So it's like they don't. The 5-star don't mean anything, but it is still impressive to see how Texas was able to go in and go into another state like Georgia, literally flip a commit and take the number one, or both of them are number one in their positions. I'm sorry. The D tackle is from Florida. My
He's
bad.
from Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was at Georgia. He had originally
He
committed.
committed to Georgia. Yeah.
Atkins was the number one linebacker in the country, also out of Georgia. Had been getting recruited from Georgia since 8th grade.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The dude plays everything. He plays running back. He plays. He's
He's
played
really
running
good.
back. I've seen him at linebacker. I've seen him at a number of positions. Right. So you're able to go in, get those guys, and still keep a lot of the guys in your state. Now there were some misses. Ohio State came in, start plucking. Oregon, same thing, started plucking.
We can say the same thing about them, right? They're coming into the state of Texas and they're plucking Devin Sanchez, the number one corner in this year's class, right?
Yep.
Texas wanted him bad out of North Shore,
Right.
Ohio State.
Yep.
There was a wide receiver that went to Ohio State, DeCorian Moore,
Oregon.
Oregon. This is happening all over the place. NIL, and this is what NIL has also done. Guys don't have to stay in the same state. Like recruiting the state is important, but it's not. Here's the thing about recruiting the state, right? Like I think in the 25 class, Texas got 3 of the top 10. That's really good in this day and age of NIL.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think that's what you probably have to do, 3 to 4. You garner the age, you're going to get like 6 or 7 of the top 10.
Yep.
Right. And if you luck out and do that, they're not going to stay because that's just not how things work. In 2022, when Texas got Kelvin Banks, Cam Williams, they got DJ Campbell, like that 5-6 offensive lineman haul. They were trying to do that Turntine and Ojo and some of these guys. That's just not going to happen. It's not realistic.
Right.
That's just recruit. In 3 years, recruiting has changed that much. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That recruiting haul that started.
And remember,
4 years
Banks was a late lock. Banks.
Yeah, he originally committed to Oregon.
Right.
It was a flip.
Yeah.
Cam Williams, I think, was it Cam Williams or DJ Campbell also were Oregon. They were deciding between Oregon and Texas.
Yeah.
And so look, Texas is going to lose some of these. They're going to win, but you want them to win. If they're in 10 of these types of battles, they need to win at least 3 a year.
Right. The fact that the majority, they were still able to kind of recruit very highly in Texas.
Yeah.
And still get, of course they weren't able to get all the guys, like you said. It's very, very difficult. This is
I would be shocked if it happened. Like if they get 5 or 6 guys in the state of Texas in any year moving forward,
top
I would
50.
be shocked.
If you're getting 5 or 6 guys in the top 50,
oh yeah, for sure.
That's where my
that's
my thought.
That's really good.
That's really freaking good.
Yeah.
But they still managed to get 3 out of the top 10. That's unheard of. That doesn't happen often. That was their Alabama times, and don't get me wrong, Alabama's still recruiting their butts off. Ohio's still recruiting their butts off. Georgia's, even though they don't have those 2 guys in their back pocket, they're still recruiting very well. So they're not really hurting. They just don't have the 2 top players at their positions. Yeah. That's all this is.
Yeah. Going back to media days though, I think overall my biggest thing that I learned is Texas is a big dog in the SEC. They might be the big dog in the SEC, and it only took them a year to do it. So that's my biggest takeaway. Everybody is chasing Texas now, maybe except for Georgia, who might be on the same wavelength. right?
Mhm.
I also think there might be. I don't know if this carries to the field. Sark's going to have to win in Athens this year. For if Sark wins in Athens, then this is going to be an on the field and off the field like a new rivalry, and I'm all for it. Um, my biggest takeaways are Texas is the big dog. Everybody loves Texas,
Not every.
and everybody that matters loves Texas. Uh, from a national media perspective, right? And everybody in the SEC that wanted Texas 2 years ago wants them gone already, fan base wise.
Mhm.
It used to just be A&M, right? Then they used to use little dirty little whiny baby that says, "Oh, guys don't want this." Georgia doesn't want it now. South Carolina. I saw a board of South Carolina fans where they're like, "Oh, Texas has got to go." Why? Because you can't afford anything, and we just beat you out for a guy in your own state. Like, I don't know what you want to like. I'm sorry that he wanted to come here. Um, and so look, welcome to big boy football. Welcome to NIL. The SEC wanted this, and this is exactly what the SEC is going to get.
Yep.
Sark had one quote. I will. This is the most confident I've seen Sark at the SEC media days. Like speaking, like last year was pretty confident.
Yeah.
This year, he loves this defense. I think he loves this defense more this year than he did last year.
Okay.
And I think it's the depth of the defense that he really, really likes.
Yeah.
Getting a guy like Murad Watson, who was an all American freshman last year, is kind of insane. Adding to a defensive tackle group be already really, really good.
Mhm.
You look at defensive end, we always talk about Colin Simmons. When we talk about the guys on the ends, we still have Ethan Burke back there. Trey Moore could still come in and play some defensive end. If you look at the two deep on the defense, you're going like 2, 3, 4 deep every single position.
That's good. That's
And
what
that's really, really good. That's after you maintain your own roster, right?
right.
There's not going to be a lot of freshmen that play on this team next year, if any of them,
Going to
right?
be a lot of experience. I think. I
Yeah,
think with if Texas is able to handle business and they're able to get their young guys out there, they're able to get these freshmen some playing time. Next year going forward, they're going to be just as locked in as they're this year, just as locked in as they were last year, and that really goes to show that like especially going forward, like if you're able to get guys some type of looks, man,
mhm,
that just means, especially against some number ones, that just means that you're taking care of business. You're getting guys able to be developed because we talk about it all the time. How many times did Quinn go down and somebody had to step up? Somebody had to make a play. How many running backs
yeah,
went down? Somebody had to step up. Somebody had to make a play. Well, you get those opportunities when you're blowing people or when you have a comfortable lead. You can get some guys in there, maybe even get some guys in there on special packages. So this is all very, very good. This is a good spot to be in.
yeah. Just a quick comment here from Cal Holler on TikTok. Appreciate you jumping in there, Cal. Go ahead and tap the screen. I really appreciate it. He has Texas, UGA, Bama top 3 teams. This is what I'll say. I could agree with Texas, UGA being the top 2 for sure. And Cal Holler, I don't know if you have that as like in that order. I'm trying to understand Bama as 3. And I think the way I think about it, and this is my other takeaway, right? Clearly, across the entire like vibe this week, those
Mhm.
are the top 3 teams amongst everyone, right? And I think it is like Texas and Georgia at the top. I am willing to bet me personally, and we could talk about SEC rankings real quick if you want. I think LSU is number 3 in my opinion.
I
Um,
respect it. I respect it.
so
I wouldn't
I
fight.
don't know. I don't know if yeah, I think three through like 7 or 8 are interchangeable. I think anything can happen down there, right? I
Right.
even think 1 or 2 are interchangeable. Like Georgia could be 1, Texas could be 2, Texas could drop as far down as 3, but there's just so many teams in that 3 through 7, 3 through 8 that could go that anything can happen. It's so volatile.
I think I think
Um,
I think Alabama is a top 5 team. I don't necessarily think that they're a top 3 team. Simply because we just don't know what's going to happen at quarterback. We don't know.
yeah,
Like, we
for
we
sure.
we don't. This I don't understand the whole John Mateer love. Like
I
I've
was go-
seen.
I was gonna say next. That's my next takeaway, and I posted about this earlier today. For all the people that think Arch Manning is overhyped, they need to have the same energy when they talk about John Mateer, who's 60% of his touchdowns last year, which led the nation, by the way, came from teams that aren't even in a Power Five conference.
Oh wow.
I think
Oh
it was like 35 of his 55 touchdowns were against teams like Southwestern State University. Blah 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 blah. He played like 2 legitimate teams last year. One of them being Wyoming in the bowl game that they lost, by the way. The
mhm.
other one being against I think they played a team that Texas that
Again, not a
that was Wyoming. That was
Power
Wyoming.
5 team.
Yeah. Um and I just don't understand the John Mateer hype. I get there is somebody on that team. There's 2 players on that team that I get the hype behind. Obviously Deion Burks, right? If he could stay healthy, Deion Burks is going to be a problem.
Right.
I can get 100% get behind that. I think Deion Burks is really good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a first-round receiver. I also like Jaden Knott, the running back out of Cal.
Oh, he's so fast.
That dude is spectacular.
He's
Yeah, that dude is
he gets
right.
on the outside. It's
Yeah.
done. You're
Beyond those 2 guys. I just get it now. If that's raising the bar, if those 2 players raises the bar material, maybe that's where it's coming from. Fine,
Right.
so be it. But this is the problem. My problem with the media, right? They make it seem like John Mateer is elevating this offense when in reality, it's those guys that are elevating John Mateer. Hopefully,
Right.
right? And so, like John Mateer might, in my opinion, might be like the 5th or 6th, maybe even 7th best quarterback.
Dude, they've got him. Some people have him ranked as number 1.
I don't get that. I'm
I
not even saying. We talked about this last week. I think Garrett Nussmeier right now today is the best quarterback.
Oh, I think so too.
Right? Like
I
if
think
I look at his potential, if I look at his the way he plays the game, his accuracy, the way he throws the ball. You talked earlier about velocity and accuracy, and I know Cal says that he can't jump on the LSU bandwagon, and I understand. I get it. It's such a volatile team. I don't trust Brian Kelly. That's my problem with LSU, but I think they have all the skill and all the talent in the world.
They had it last year.
But they add Nick Anderson, who wasn't healthy at Oklahoma, who might be maybe the best wide receiver in the entire conference. Beyond Deion Burks, right? It's probably him and Deion Burks. They've got an excellent wide receiving core. Now they have Garrett Nuss who can throw to a really good wide receiving core. I'm not saying this is like Joe Burrow levels of quarterback play, right? But it's going to be really freaking good. And that I am a Garrett Nussmeier fan. I enjoyed watching him last year. Like I remember watching him against Clemson. I'm like, I think I even texted you when I was watching that game because I wasn't in town, right? I was like, who is this guy? And you're like, dude, that's Garrett Nussmeier. And I was like, that guy's gonna be really freaking good. And the LSU Clemson game week 1 is going to be fireworks. I'm so excited for that game.
I think Cade Klubnik is up there as far as
for sure
quarterback. He's taken way like between last year and his freshman year.
Yeah,
he's taken some big
leaps and bounds for sure.
I didn't know what was going to happen to Cade. I thought in the situation
I was getting concerned a little bit, but he showed me a lot in that Texas playoff game, and I think he's going to take a huge step. There's one throw.
He can spin it.
Oh yeah, they're going to have an excellent receiving core too. Ryan Westcott comes back. I mean, they got another guy. He's going to have a lot of great weapons that have some experience. But Sark always has one quote every year. Well, every year, like the 2 years he's been at SEC Media Days. This year, I really like this quote, and to me, this is how I know that Texas wins in recruiting the right way. I don't care what anybody says, right?
Right.
And I know and people joke about the whole like NIL thing. We don't talk about NIL first. If you think he's literally regurgitated that every year he's been here. So if you think that that's not like if that's like a brand new thing, then you clearly don't watch Sark. But he
Yeah.
says that every year, every interview. The message is consistent. They don't talk about NIL until the last thing. I guarantee if they talked about NIL first, they'd have more than what they have in 5-star recruits. I promise you.
Probably.
Because Texas would dominate recruiting if they
And the money would
talked
speak
about
for
NIL.
itself.
Yeah, they would be dominating recruiting. Not that they aren't already, but he says we're trying to build a roster that can withstand the test of time. We're not trying to be a one-year wonder. And Sark is recruiting
Straightforward.
intentionally. Right? And I'll say to the Texas fan base, let that man stop panicking in June, stop panicking in July. You know, if 6 or 7, 8 recruits don't go your way, don't go messaging guys that don't commit to Texas and telling them that they're frauds and that, they're all about the bag. Because what's really, really funny about this quote? 2 hours later, JJ flipped his commit. It's literally 2 hours after this quote, he flipped his commit. Well,
Wow.
2 hours after I watched it anyway.
Right.
Like it happened at actually it might have I watched it and I was like, oh okay, whatever. We're doing some work and I decided to flip Twitter around. I hit the refresh button and I texted you. I said, oh my God. I literally said, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then the first thing I thought about was this quote. I was like, oh dude. This dude, that's why this episode is called Sark the Don, because he's just literally out here
Quietly.
handshaking with these
Quietly.
guys.
It's a quiet game. You
Yep.
can even see it with his demeanor. They had the freaking A&M fight song playing. I don't understand that.
Didn't even phase him.
That's why I'm not a coach, because I would have said something, because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I probably would have stopped, walked days, made him start it again, and then come back up there and pretending like nothing happened. So
he's locked in, man. I think we're gonna see him.
You put it on the head. You said there's a confidence about Sark that is different, and we've seen it get. He's gained more and more confidence every year, and
He has.
and it shows. Like, he literally went up there unfazed, didn't even mention A&M. Whatever he might have thought in his head probably was hilarious, but it didn't phase him. He didn't bat an eye. He didn't do it. Like, he stayed the course, and
He's locked in,
he
man.
delivered it. He delivered everything. He delivered his speech and answered questions beautifully.
Yeah, he did. And I thought he did a really, really good job. As far as other coach, I listened to Brent Venables a little bit, and it was really hard to listen. He's going to get fired this year.
I don't know. He doesn't make sense. I feel like he's just
he's going to get fired this year. That dude, they're not going to win a lot of games.
I don't get it. He's just.
I don't know.
I've Kirby Smart.
I love Kirby Smart.
I love Kirby Smart, but
his sarcasm is awesome.
He sounds like a jealous girlfriend right now. He sounds he sounds just bitter right now. And listen.
Well, he should be. He just lost the number one recruit in his state.
Two number
two
one.
of them. Yeah.
2 number one.
He should be.
He sounds bitter. He sounds like Nick Saban. He sounds like he doesn't know what to do with NIL. And I'm like y'all are winning, right? Y'all, it's not that you're not competing, because you are. But him and Brian Kelly did not sound confident. That's just me.
I think Kirby Smart's a line, and he didn't say this in his press conference, but when he was like, how they did the TV interview, and then he went into He said, if you don't love the game, don't come to Georgia. If you don't want to be coached and you don't want to be coached hard, don't come to Georgia. I just want you to love the game. Like, to me, that's like walking a fine line, right? And again, funny enough, this was the day before because Georgia went before Texas. This is
Mm-hmm.
the day before the flip happened. So to me, I feel like he either already knew
Mm-hmm.
that this was coming or he was hinted at it that it was coming. And
Yep.
so again, not that he was taking shots at somebody, but he must have like had a feeling or something,
Yeah.
right? So, I think Kirby Smart is an excellent coach. Obviously, he put Sark in a box in a locker on the field last year in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sark. There's just this
Sark's just trying to return a favor. That's it. Like it's what
there's
it
just this vibe, yeah, this aura around Sark right now, and he is unfazed by anything, and that's like really. Remember last year when they were doing the A&M game
Mm-hmm.
and he did the interview and it almost seemed like no, it was no big deal. And
Yep.
then he went and basically their defense gave up no points.
Yep.
That's the feeling I get. Like to me, I feel now not giving my prediction, but I feel that much more confident that Texas is going to win that first game.
Listen, I you could tell that Sark is I don't know exactly what he's done. I don't know who he's been talking to. I know Nick has been
Well,
his mentor
we
for years.
we know who he's been talking to: Nick Saban and Pete Carroll.
Well, yeah,
That's who he's been talking to.
we know who his mentors are, and so it is. It's actually pretty cool to see the growth because like Sark is still very young. He's only 50 years old, and he's
Yeah,
still one of the younger coaches in the Power Five.
yep.
You think about Dabo, you think about uh, Kelly, you think about not Dabo, um, uh,
Lane is Lane up there.
Kirby.
Lane's probably younger than that,
Learn-
right?
Lane is, I think Lane is a little bit older. Lane's been
Like
around for a long time. Uh,
like he's over 50.
I think Lane is over 50.
Really?
Yeah,
Man,
I
yeah,
think Lane
that's good
is
for
over
over
50.
50. Jeez.
Now DeBoer is the youngest in the
Yeah, I think he's like 40, like mid
he's
40s.
I think he's late 30s. Like like he's not old at all. But yeah, you could just kind of tell he's kind of entered in this sage mode, like this. Oh, it's just like
Oh no,
he's
DeBoer is 50.
DeBoer's 50.
Yeah,
Okay, so they're the two youngest then.
yeah.
Um, so you can just kind of tell, man, he's in some type of just like this state, like he's in this zen, man, like he unfazed. And if that is the thing, if that carries on to that team, man, that's gonna be something real special. Now, I do want to cover Arch Manning. I want to cover
I,
Arch Manning because, again, I have anything. I don't have anything bad to say about Arch. What I do feel that is weird is that let me start with Arch first. Arch is a very humble guy.
yeah.
It's almost
I wonder where he learns that from.
but it's almost painstakingly like dog. Come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. But
He's
you know
got
what?
this, but the way he says it though, he's got this like tone to it though.
You know what I thought about? I think about he is a humble kid, but when he gets on the football field, that's a different person.
That's a demon.
It's a
Yeah.
demon. And you know what? And we just talked about it, that A&M game. Now that A&M game, they gave him that sweep, and he managed to get that first down, and he got knocked out of bounds. And I can't remember exactly
They
what.
give it to him again. Did he get it twice? Because he ends up getting a touchdown.
Oh, he did get the touchdown. You're right.
Okay, yeah, that's right. He stayed in bounds on that one.
He stayed in bounds. So, but then you see his reaction on the sideline. He starts flexing on the sideline.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. It took me some hours to think about. I was like, oh yeah, they can, because I've been rewatching Texas games. It started last week with Oklahoma. I rewatched Texas versus Texas A&M a couple days ago, and so forth. And just to kind of look at not necessarily like Quinn or the guys that are gone, I'm looking at the guys that are still here. Michael
Yeah,
Taft,
yeah.
Michael Taft, Trey Moore, Ethan Burke, those guys. I'm looking at those guys. And with those guys and then Arch at the helm, bro, like what
Got a lot of talent, man.
it's so
Yeah.
crazy how much talent is on this team. He will continue to be humble, but on that field, I don't think you're gonna see that. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
you're
see
gonna
that.
see a different type of guy.
You're gonna see
I
a
will.
you're gonna see a more confident player, and I
Yep.
can't wait to see that because Paul Feinbaum, for me to not hate him, he is comparing him to Tim Tebow. I don't think he's Tebow esque guy, because I don't think he
Um,
is the type of leader. I don't think he's the same type of leader. Um, I do think that Arch is a leader, a vocal leader, but I don't think he's like rah rah in your face. There's been times where you've seen like
not that we know of. Not yet.
that we know of,
Yeah.
right? We've only seen a fraction of him. But just based on what we saw, like, he'll do his little flex, he might do a little celebration. He's
Yeah.
back to the sideline. He's got a clipboard in his hand and a headset on. He's on to the next thing. Tim Tebow wasn't necessarily like that. Tim
Yeah.
Tebow, he had his rah-rah moments, but I'm just excited to see what's going to
Oh,
happen.
I'm very excited.
I'm very excited.
There's two things
What
that
what's
stuck
weirded
out.
me what one more thing. What's weirded me out is that there have been opportunities for a lot of these works, a lot of these podcast guys to get up here and really sit up here and have the opportunity to interview Quinn. I'm not interview Quinn, interview Arch, and they were more worried about what he had on. Why didn't he have a Gucci suit on? Oh, he's like, why did like you,
I didn't hear any of that. Where'd you hear that
saw a
from?
lot of that. Like I've seen a lot of those clips. I've seen it. Like I've watched a lot. I've taken in a lot of information in regards to just Arch in itself.
Yeah.
The amount of the stupid fucking questions that I've seen. The amount of just like I don't know if it's they want to hate Texas. I don't know what it is. ESPN loves Texas. ESPN is all of a sudden love Texas. We haven't seen this much love ever. They didn't pick us against
It's been a
USC.
very long
They
time.
didn't pick us against Alabama. They didn't. Texas, ESPN and Texas have not been in cahoots. All of a sudden, they're in cahoots. Don't necessarily know what that's all about.
Yeah.
Makes the money. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know. But those guys, there's been some guys that have been out there, and I'll shoot them to you when I run across them. But just you have an opportunity to interview Arch, and you're talking about the clothes that he's wearing. Why?
Are these like the how they had like the big media stage interview, right?
It's the
Are
radio
you talking the little
situation.
huddle interview? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all stupid. Like that's what that's all for, right? Where he's like sitting in a chair and it's like the media's like huddle, like a locker room interview kind of thing,
right,
right?
right.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't watch
Did
that
you
crap.
see how big that huddle was?
It was large, but again, I think that's why they had that little huddle. Like that's the intent, right?
It was
Um,
massive, dude.
yeah,
Somebody took a picture from overhead. Those other
yeah, I
quarterbacks
saw it.
weren't getting those
There were
same.
guys like at the second level. There were guys. I think that's the intent, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, well, who dressed you today? Yeah, my dog dressed me today. Like, what do you want me to tell you, right?
Yeah, I thought that those were stupid questions. Like, it's
I
not
think that's the intent, though. Like,
okay. Well, okay. I just don't remember seeing that at SEC Media Days. Like SEC
I
Media
think that
Days.
little huddle thing is new.
Okay, that might be new, but SEC Days are pretty serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because these guys don't talk.
Yeah, well,
Like,
especially like you bring your quarterback. If you're bringing your quarterback to SEC media days, like or any media day, like that's a big deal.
yeah,
It's very telling that Oklahoma didn't bring John Mateer as much as they love John Mateer. He wasn't there.
it wasn't.
You know who else wasn't there? Marcel Reed wasn't at A&M. Well, nobody was at A&M's media day today, so it does not. I mean, that doesn't really matter. Eli Drinkwater or Drinkwitz or drink whatever the heck his name
Oh
is.
God.
That guy was weird. Like, no, his quarterback wasn't there. They're having a quarterback battle. So if you're bringing your quarterback to media days, like that's a big deal. Like you think something of your
Right.
quarterback.
Right.
There's one quote that Arch said that I thought was hilarious, and I don't
What
know
was
if you know which one I'm talking about. He says those 2 years, and he's talking about like what it is like making the transition from being the backup into being the starter,
Mhm.
right? He said those 2 years I kind of got a lot of respect from the team, and now being more of a vocal leader.
Right.
They know that it's coming from a place of love, and when I get on someone, they know I'm not just being a turd.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's like the humorous part of Arch, right? Like that's the humor part of Peyton, and but then you also saw a lot of like the serious tone. It's like I'm just here to play football, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't care what color the locker room is. I'm just here to play football.
I don't care
I
what
don't.
the
Yeah,
locker room is. I don't care about the rankings. I've only played two
yeah.
games. I don't understand like
I'm
where
just
you
trying to play football.
like it
I
was
love that, and I think that like that part of his leadership is it's the same, but the tone that he like Quinn said the same. I'm just here to play football, but the
yeah.
way he says it and the decisiveness that he says it with is
Yeah.
is
He's sure
different.
about it.
And
He's sure
Sark
about
even
it.
mentioned it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Sark said the same thing. He's like, look, Quinn was a great leader, but he was a great leader in a different way. Arch is like a vocal leader, and he's really,
Right.
really good at that. And
Right.
that's a difference that you'll see this year.
Right.
So that's really all the takeaways I have. Do you have anything else?
No, no. I'm interested to see. Is it is are we done with the SEC media day? Today's the last day, right? That's
It
it.
was the
Okay.
last day. It was all the bottom feeders in
Yeah.
A&M.
Um, I going forward. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a little bit more of Sark. Um, with the top of August rolling around, we don't necessarily know about the open practice if there's going to be an open practice.
I highly doubt it.
That used to
Highly
be a thing.
doubt it.
I hate that they've kind of gone away with it, but again, I understand it. Um, but if there is any information as far as an open practice, we will let you guys know in the future. Here, we'll definitely keep you updated. Um, I also want to touch really quickly here on um, Coach Mac. He's
Oh,
made
he's
his
starting a new podcast.
he started a new podcast and he's
Stampede.
made his return to Austin. And
Yeah,
I'm really liking that because one, I think he's actually working with the University of Texas now.
I do too. Yep.
I can't remember exactly what the position is.
I don't think there's an official position for him. I think he's like unofficially working for them.
Okay.
Is my guess. Like he's like in the background somewhere.
Right. And I was kind of thinking along the same lines. Remember, he did stand as the head coach, but he was still involved.
Yep.
From a recruiting aspect, from an AD aspect, he was still involved with the program. So it's kind of cool to see Mac kind of return to Austin.
Pretty. Yeah, it is cool.
It's just really cool to see him grab Vince and they're gonna start a podcast and it's
Very
called.
excited to see that.
I'm excited to see that, and I will definitely be watching. And I definitely feel like there's going to be some stuff that we learn from that podcast that we will be able to transition over to here and kind of talk about. So I'm excited about that. But other than that, yeah, man, even though it's been crazy,
Yeah.
It's been fun, man.
Been a lot of fun, and we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Fall camp starts in 3 weeks, I believe.
Mhm.
So guys will get a couple weeks off. We start fall next week. We will start our season series, our preseason series. We'll pick 3 games a week. We'll predict them. We'll talk about them, leading all up into game week, Ohio State, Texas. The week after next, no show because I will be out of town.
Yep.
And then once I get back, August hits hard and heavy, and we'll listen. We're only 43 days away from Texas versus Ohio State.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I think this year's gone by a lot faster than a lot of previous off seasons.
Well, there's been a lot more stuff going down.
That's
There's
true.
been some dead periods. Like I would say, out of the entire from top to bottom, if you think about it, from the college football playoff to now, there's only really been 4 weeks of dead period,
Dead time, which is nice.
which is great. It's fantastic,
Yeah.
But it's literally been something going on, especially throughout just Texas, not just football, but just in general, the sports in general,
Yep.
all the way around. It's been really.
For sure. All righty. Any final words?
No, man. Nah. I just get rid of the mid blitz out of college football. Make people actually learn how to play defense.
All right. Well, I will continue to struggle how to play defense and also not know how to use the mid blitz. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. That's all I got. My name's Harish. That's my guy, Tim Wayne. We out of here.
Yes, sir. Till Gable.